All right. Welcome to another episode of The Madness Table. Thank you very much for listening or watching. We now do have video content as of, episode 86, which you are currently either listening or watching over on YouTube. If you're checking us out on the tube or any of our normal platforms, please make sure you rate and review us. Shout us out to a friend, whatever you can do to kind of kick the love flowing outwards. Always love a good follow on the social medias as well. Will's always churning out fresh talks for his ticks. I think that's what those are called. And we thank everyone who's dropped a question for our bonus action. You can have question and answer segments. As always, you can hit us up at themadnesstable@gmail.com, or better yet, join our Discord and interact with the crew there. But now, enough from me. Over to you, Will.
Thank you, Andrew. Quick little review for everybody. Our listeners won't need it, but we do. So, you guys have tended to a little bit of business in town. You have seen the bazaar. You're attacked by some oozes. You met up with Naomi Pathshutter, who was like, hey, I need you to investigate this weird kind of phenomenon called Ogremok's Bane, which can control our elementals. I just need some useful information. You guys proceeded to shop around for some stuffs, which we talked about before, and then you were on your way to the blacksmith when you passed through the Ruby and the Rough, the kind of temple of Bligdenstone, helped out a poor acolyte, Mr. Shroomlight, and you found some ghosts that were part of a group called the Borough Wardens, kind of a super cool vanguard of sorts for the city in ages past, who are training young Deep Gnome to kind of take up the mantle again. They said, hey, if you could gather any of our old items like armor or our rings or stuff like that, that would be great. But also, if you could help put to rest my brothers and sisters and help equip these kids, that would be great. You were kind of like, all right, we'll kind of look into it. And you left. You visited the smithy. You learned that there was a legendary gnome smith by the name of Leary Skyforger who had a secret smithy somewhere around Bligdenstone or hidden within the city, and that she had a remarkable hammer supposedly made out of like star metal. And Starcrawler was like, oh yeah, I'm going to find that stuff. You guys proceeded back to the foaming mug. There was some broken nose with the ringing of the bell. You put poor Jimmy into the kitchen and were like, don't ever come back. And then you promptly went to bed. And you have now woken up in the morning. You have the wonderful long rest. And as you kind of are getting your gear back on, clothing yourselves, you find that there is a letter by the doorside table. What do you want to do?
You never sleep better than the day you crush someone's dreams.
Oh, man. Wasn't that bad?
You just hear weeping echoing in the distance.
What that letter say? That was Brendan, not Hester.
Oh, okay. I can hardly tell the difference. I'm so sorry. You're so in character all the time. You go over and you see that it's addressed to the three of you. You open it up and it's from Naomi Pathshutter, or I think it's just Naomi, not Naomi. And she tells you very briefly that she has been called away on business by her leader and mentor of the Stoneheart Enclave, Yantha Coaxrock. She says that she has to go to a place called Mantle Dareth to assist Yantha in a little bit of business and research. However, another member of the Enclave, one of a more priestly nature by the name of Gurnik Tapfinger, would like to meet you all in the forges, essentially, before helping you get yourselves inside the sealed off rock blight, and that he has a personal request for the three of you. And that she will be back within the next 2-3 days.
it would seem our friend Nomi is very, very busy. I mean, just in the time we've known her, she kind of like had a thing and then like went off to do her thing and then is now doing a whole nother thing.
No, I'm pretty sure this is like day 3 in a row of we'll do it tomorrow.
Well, I mean, it sounds like we could still do it. It's just like, do you think she's the main character?
This is her story. You guys are just
It does seem like we are the, supporting cast in her life.
Fair. All right. Doesn't hurt to do her a favor, and looks like we're finally heading off to the Rock Blight today. If we can meet this Tap Finger fellow, and looks like, well, while we're in the Rock Blight, I just want to remind you: keep an eye out for a ghost, an unsettled spirit, who we might lay to rest. Just eye on the prize. Ogremuck's Bane, spirit.
Interesting. So we are looking for a figure, a ghostly figure, and potentially we're also looking for whatever this Garrick person would want, but we would need to speak to them. Is this favor for Garrick a favor for Nomi as well? Am I understanding that correctly in the letter?
Possibly.
Do you know something, Esther?
No.
You look constipated. Are you all right?
There's a bathroom here. You can use it.
So many people need favors. I'm sorry. I just stroked out. DM, do I know of this? Sam, their name is Gurnick. Get it right.
Gurnick.
No,
Gurnick.
I love how Scylla constantly is like, this is how I heard your name.
Yeah.
This is now your name.
Yep.
Tap finger, stone tooth, foam strap, whatever the fuck, you know?
Artemis's last name is Steven. I don't even know how we got here.
It sounded better, so I just went with it.
When someone asks if you're God, you know. Will, do I know this Gurnick tap finger? Was it, or do I know of this figure?
Roll a history check.
Okay. Oh, why intelligence? Why not?
You need it.
Could I interest you in a stealth check to stealth away from all of these responsibilities?
Yeah, you roll a successful stealth check, and nobody believes that you're constipated at all.
It's okay. Neither is successful. That is a wait. Yeah, it's a 2.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, you have not heard of this Gurnick tap finger before.
Well, I don't know if this personal favor immediately aligns with Nomi's, but this Gurnick seems like a very prominent figure to be in the main character's circle, so I'm sure it is of the utmost importance.
I doubt it will take long. We should go.
Shall we to the forges, then?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys gather up your stuff. You head out from the foaming mug. You hear soft weeping deep within one of the rooms about. Tappy just kind of gives you all a wave. You can see her nose is a little bandaged, but not the worse for wear. And you make your way back through the city over to the forges and the caves of Clatter, as they're technically called. And you see that it's all quiet here, except for one individual who is wearing the same kind of robes that Nomi was. However, these ones are decorated with a few more what you would assume would be like gnomish glyphs and runes kind of like written on this like sash that goes around them. And they kind of turn and bow at you as you approach.
Hello there. Would you be Tapfinger?
Yeah, that would be me. I'm the tap finger.
Oh. Suddenly I feel inferior.
They clap their hands. He's like, it's Gurnick. You can just call me Gurnick, and nice to meet you all.
Well, It's nice to meet you as well.
It is lovely.
Yeah, you must, Siller, the Caller of Stars, and...
Hester. Stone.
Right, that one. Thank you.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm so sorry to be meeting you like this. I would have much rather preferred that, Nomi handled this, but it's all business. Yontha calling them away again. Listen, you're going in there, and there is a pretty cool little statue, I guess you could call it. It used to be called the Steadfast Stone. It's pretty important to those of us here within the community as a place of worship. It's for our Lord and Savior, Caladurin Smooth Hands.
Smooth be his hands.
Exactly. Smooth be his hands, indeed, friend. I don't know what awaits you in there. However, I do believe that if we are able to cleanse the Steadfast Stone, it might help with Ogremark's bane and with the city and all that it troubles, or is troubled by. Are you perhaps willing to search for it for me and cleanse it for the sake of the city?
Dude,
Well, we'll be heading into the rock blight, so we can certainly keep our eyes out and seek it. Can you tell me more about the smooth, or not smoothing, now I'm just all caught up on the smooth hands now, but
I know it's hard not to think about those hands of smoothness.
yes, how are we to cleanse the statue?
Oh yes, I have something right here, and he reaches into a breast pocket and pulls out a ruby, a very large, nicely faceted cut one. He goes, "This here is a very special spell gem that contains from our Lord a spell of hallow," and he hands it over to you. If you should find the Steadfast Stone, all I need you to do is place it within one of the slots that is reportedly within the Steadfast Stone, and with a little bit of time, the spell should come to effect and cleanse it from perhaps whatever is pervading the area.
Well, seems simple enough. What does the Steadfast Stone look like? If you could be so kind.
Well, everything from the writings that I've found have told it to be something of what looks akin to like an ant hill of sorts. It stands about 10 feet tall, has a smooth cut top, kind of narrowed to a point, and there are reliefs around it and sockets where numerous spell gems were said to be placed to help control and draw upon the smooth hands to entice both the Galabdur and the elementals that we use to help build the city. And as something of such holy importance, I can only imagine what greater good it could do for us all.
You'll forgive me for asking, Mr. Tapfinger, but with all the crazy shit going on in Blingdenstone lately, there's no chance this is an actual anthill of sorts, is there?
I've only got the writings that I've found here within the city that are about 1,000 years old. They've never said nothing about it being an anthill.
Well, if there's anything I know from religious writings from a millennia ago, they are completely accurate and should be taken at face value.
Exactly. I don't know why you'd question that, son. So
no
I will
need for
forgive
interpretation
you for
at all.
asking.
Of course.
No.
Anything you find in a cave that is thousands of years old is just gospel. You hear me? I apologize to everybody.
I don't.
Thing. We just lost all of our listeners.
Yeah, because we were really hitting up the Christian subset.
Sorry, Mrs. Conklin.
No.
Sorry, Mrs.
She's
Conklin.
fine, trust me.
Yeah.
As you are describing this 10-foot tall structure, it crosses my mind that perhaps we've seen something similar in the past.
You have.
It is making me think such, yes. But Sam is having trouble remembering if anybody else on the squad was alive at that time.
Nope. That was the only one.
Everybody's just looking at you like
Just blank-eyed stares.
God damn it!
I, as Brendan, don't even think I remember what you're referring to.
Samantha here is referring to when we had our vampire friend, whose name I also can't remember.
Oh my god, right.
And there was that, like, tall, pointy thing.
Yeah, he had, like, an
busting out
obelisk
magic.
with him.
An obelisk. Well, not even him. We found one in the Whirlstone tunnels.
And that's what transported us out of the Whirlstone tunnels.
But it was, like, it was also, like, a point of magic that, like, all these other things were happening around.
Yep.
But I think I was the only one there.
Yep, you sure were.
Yes, 100%.
Oh, my memory is going to be so bad right now.
If only Sephel was here.
Sam, why don't you go ahead and roll just a straight up intelligence check?
Oh, bless. Thank you. I don't have to be intelligent if I can roll for it. Okay, I need to be intelligent. This is a...
Okay, so where'd that -3 land you?
I got a 7.
Oof.
You got a 7.
Okay. I actually have a +1 to int, thank you.
Okay, alright.
You remember that within the Whirlstone tunnels, there was definitely an obelisk. Your vampire friend like had something similar, but it wasn't 10 feet tall. And you remember, like, when they essentially died, they disappeared into their own kind of stone pillar that they were carrying with them. The obelisk that you found that the Deep Gnome, or the not the Deep Gnome, the Darrow were playing around with, it was made out of an odd metal, and it was more of a pyramid than anything.
Okay.
And it also had odd chunks, like, blown off of it or, like, carved out of it, and they were trying to put small pieces back into it, and it hummed with wild, chaotic magic within it.
Okay.
And you remember Sephel was able to, like, channel some of his magic into it, and it did teleport you outside of the city, and then you guys, like, quickly returned on foot back into Gracklestug.
Yes, what I can remember in Gracklestug, I was there with my comrades at the time, and there was an obelisk of sorts. It is perhaps unrelated, but I will keep it in mind as we find this new structure. I would hate to disregard anything that has connected the various evil entities that we have come across. And she, like, looks, like, knowingly at the two of you, like...
now Artemis nods. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Now we're talking
I got
about
you
language.
now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That being said, this seems like something we could easily do while we are exploring.
Well, that is wonderful to hear, and I greatly appreciate it. Here is the gem, by the way. Don't forget to place that, please.
I don't know if this is something that we asked. What is the breadth of the rock blight? Is it a singular cave? Is it a large expanse of area? I, as Hester, would probably know this. Maybe I don't know.
He says to himself in front of everybody. You can roll me another history check, unless you just want him to tell you what he knows.
I mean, if he's just gonna tell me, I'll save myself the embarrassment.
Gurnik says, no, there is, it's a series of areas within. There are, beyond these sealed gates, and he, like, turns towards the doors on the right of you all, or like where he's facing you, it's his right, your left. So to the east on the map, there are these sealed doors, stone doors, and he goes, beyond there is supposed to be old residences of some of the former inhabitants, our ancestors, and well, I don't quite know the scope of everything within that, but beyond that is something that I've only found in a handful of writings that was referred to as the Crystal Garden, and it's said in those reports that is where, or at least near, is the steadfast stone. And beyond that, somewhere farther on within the tunnels is supposedly the once great throne room for the king and queen of Blatenstone. But you do not need to go that far. If you could just put the Hallow Gem within the steadfast stone and perhaps find anything that Nomi asked of you, that would be much appreciated. Don't push yourselves. 1,000 years, who knows what could be in there now.
Considering there are oozes here, I would think there is quite a bit there.
Perhaps there have been some troubles. Not enough for me to think that perhaps there's an infestation, but I will defer to your expertise, as you are the ones far more traveled than I.
I would like to step up to this man, look him dead in the eye.
So you're looking down at his solid 3 feet from your, how tall is Scylla again?
She's like 6 foot.
Does Scylla get on her knees to look him in the eye?
He's just like staring at a belt buckle, and then his head just tips all the way back to look up at you.
Am I getting a good vibe from this guy?
Make an insight check.
19.
Yeah, other than the little bit of fear he's feeling as you like get right up on him, because you are an intimidating figure. He seems very genuine. He's very concerned. He very much wants this steadfast stone, whatever it is, to be cleansed, because he genuinely believes that it could do something very great for the community. Even just like if nothing magical supposedly were to happen with it, just the fact that it could be a place that they could visit again, for those that feel the need to call upon their gods, he thinks it genuinely believes it could be a massive boon of sorts.
Well, I believe we can do this for you. We will smooth the stone with our steadfast hands through the use of the Hallow spell.
Greatly appreciate that. And he like folds both of his hands over yours, which like his little hands only cover like half of yours, so he's like holding a couple fingers. He's like, thank you so much, Miss Scylla. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate this.
Oh, tears make me uncomfortable, but thank you.
I'm not crying. I'm not crying. I don't know what you're talking about. Sure. Anyways, the door's over here. And just starts walking over towards the sealed doors.
Just got very emotional very quickly.
I'm not. We don't get emotional. Smooth Hands says no.
But the smooth hands caress you into a sense of security and vulnerability.
You only get to do that if you're a priest. Shush.
Okay, we're not going to unpack that one on air. We've already insulted the church enough this session.
Yeah, the Vatican will be sending a cease and desist. So I'm assuming he's like fully open for any other questions you guys might have. Otherwise, he is happy to kind of undo the seal on the door. Should you guys be ready to go in?
Nah, let's do this.
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right. 1 second.
I will point out that I don't think this is going to be good, guys.
When we do something that you do think is going to be like turn out well, let me know, and I'll tell Will to fix his shit.
Yeah, that's true. Fair.
Good point. as he's about to undo the seal on the door, he turns back to you all and goes, I understand that doing this could be dangerous, and if Ugamark's Bane is in fact related to the primordial evil prince of the earth, cleansing this stone might bring upon danger to you. So
Sorry,
please.
Did anybody... I need to roll us back there. Did anybody mention the demon, primordial demon prince of the earth in the last few times that we've talked about going and
Well, no. Stonetooth, no. There's a difference between primordials and demons. So those are different categories of extraplanar entities. Okay, so an elemental prince might be evil, but he is not demonic, as so far as we are concerned.
I love how
Explain to me why I care and how you know this.
Starcaller rolled a nat 20 on his check already, so that's good.
I want a constitution check to see if his nose starts bleeding.
Yeah.
Are you saying that that the entity that is being described is perhaps not related to those which we have faced and which are currently terrorizing the Underdark, or are you saying that it is perhaps a precursor and not quite as powerful as those beings?
Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
Is
actually-
it big? Is it ancient? Could it kill us?
Yes, and yes.
Okay, so why do we care, demon or elemental?
What
I think it does matter.
it matters a lot when you're using divine smite.
I would say, what is the difference between a human and a rat?
You're asking...
Ixnay on the rat say.
That's not how you patent lay.
Gurnik's just like, anyways.
We'll argue on the other side of the wall. It's fine.
It will take a few moments for the Hallow spell to cleanse the area. If something were to happen, you must protect the stone until the spell is active. And if you do this, I will call upon the smooth hands to bless the three of you.
Wonderful.
Thanks, ominous foreshadowing from the DM.
But
Garrett,
you will be blessed.
if I could ask for one more thing, I am concerned that a Jimmy Foamstrap may attempt to follow us in. Could you make sure he does not?
Oh, don't worry. I'll handle Jimmy. Yeah, that ain't a problem. That boy
Wonderful.
can't find his own shoelaces.
I feared as much.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry.
Artemis talks under his breath. These fools do not realize the power with which they meddle. The sleeping giant that is Jimmy.
When we start going towards the gate, I'll hang back with tap finger, and I will place a bag with 50 gold pieces in his hand, and I will say, if Jimmy comes, tell him how to get there first.
What? Oh my gosh, Esther!
Gurnik's like, but I don't know what could be out there in the rock. Like, you want me to have him, you really want me to have him go find the steadfast stone?
Jimmy is the best of us. If anyone can survive what is out there and last long enough until we arrive to sort the situation, it is
Esther,
Jimmy.
are you coming?
Yeah, I'm coming. Do
Oh,
it. And I'll just try to...
He just stares at you flabbergasted, and he just looks down at the coin. He's like, shrugs like, okay.
Blood money is still money, though, so...
The Underdark doesn't have a good code of ethics yet. It's fine.
The
Yeah,
smooth
right.
hands will appreciate this donation. And you guys, the door has been opened, and you head out into this space. I need you all to roll perception checks.
Perception. I got a 16.
I'm looking at 21.
Oh,
A measly 15.
Okay. Who got the 21?
Hester did.
Hester. As you pass through the doors and like Gurnet comes up and starts to like pull them shut behind you guys, and he explained to you that he's doing this because it's a large area. He doesn't want to risk, like, should Ogremark's Bane be like mobile, he doesn't want it coming into the city, taking over the elementals and like killing everybody. So he starts shutting the door behind you all, and as it like gets closed, you swear that you saw something like come in through the doors behind you guys. Like just the briefest, you're like
something came our direction through the door?
Yeah. Like
Okay.
following you. But you don't, as you're looking around, you still don't see anything as the doors shut, and you are now in this very, very dimly lit area.
Okay. Can I pop a primeval awareness and sense the presence of aberrations, celestials, dragons, elemental, fey, fiends, or undead within a mile?
Yes. You feel undead coming from what would be the southeast.
Okay.
What were all the other creatures again?
Aberrations, celestials, dragons.
You don't feel any of those three.
Okay. Elementals, fey, fiends, or undead. And by the way, it does not reveal the location or number of them. It just lets me know if there are some within a mile.
Okay. Does it tell you the types? I'm assuming so.
Yes, I would know what I sense.
Okay. So you definitely know that there's undead.
Okay.
You definitely know that there's some elementals.
Okay.
Of some sort.
If the meat sack puppeting Hester were to remember that I actually sense up to 6 miles because I'm in my favored terrain, which is the Underdark, do I sense anything else?
Yeah. You feel a little bit of fiendish presence. Ooh. You don't feel dragon or celestial, no aberrations. Definitely primordial, like the elemental stuff. And I think that's it off the top of my head. 6 miles is a long way.
Yeah, it's a while. All right, so be aware. I could have sworn I saw something come through the door. I might be crazy. There's weird shit happening here. It might be a hallucination. Just watch our 6. There are undead around here within a mile, so be careful of that. And not within a mile, but within 6 miles, there are fiends. So that's what I got.
Excellent. We are forewarned of the danger. I hope one of those urchins hasn't followed us in, seeking Udhusk at the behest of the Stone Wardens. But I do feel it may be likely. Well, shall we?
Okay. As you enter into this space, it's, from what you can see, because I'm assuming everybody here has dark vision, right? If I'm remembering that correctly. You see that the path opens up to the north and to the south of you. And it very much mimics a lot of the residential areas that you guys have seen and encountered within Bligdenstone. And as you're walking about, like, every step that you take echoes against these walls, and the air feels very cold and damp. And one of the things you hear what sounds like water falling somewhere to the southeast of you, along with what sounds like the faint echoes of battle.
If I hear battle, my instinct is to head in that direction.
I would agree. Perhaps Hester and I can get a bit ahead to scout.
Indeed.
Certainly. I would be happy to lead. So Hester will slink ahead,
Okay.
Yeah.
trying to get closer to that sound.
Yeah. Artemis will put up his cloak of elven kindhood and kind of follow along the opposite cave wall, moving in the same direction as Hester, but spanning out a bit.
Will, if I may, Scylla, as she is left alone in this dim light here, having crossed through that threshold,
Yeah.
she finds herself kind of reliving the past events which have occurred so recently. It is very rare that she's kind of alone and without these two. And it's only happened like probably only once before in the crypt. And as they walk away, she I think she is kind of flashing back to being in front of Dagon and to being in front of her previous running away from her city of coral, trying to save everyone. She's having these like constant flashbacks, and she keeps like coming back and realizing she's in the tunnel. But then as like the silence sets in, her kind of gaze kind of clouds over with these like memories again, and she's kind of reliving these things as you all walk away.
Is this in the form of like an anxiety attack or like panic almost?
Yeah, I think it's like she's alone again, and she's feeling like every single time she's been alone, well, recently it's been like kind of hyperventilating a little bit, as it may be like she thinks too much about it, and then she kind of pulls herself back and like remembers where she is, but it only takes another couple seconds before her breathing like accelerates and she starts to see these flashes again, and pretty soon she's pulled out Caliburn and she's standing there reliving moments.
I love it. Thank you. Yeah, I can see that kind of this far off, ready stance, just in case, but plagued by these visions. That's really nice. Yeah. Andrew and Brendan, have you guys gone ahead and moved your tokens, and I'm just not seeing that, or can you?
No, I'll do that now. Sorry, was it the north or the east that we heard the battle
South.
sounds?
The southeast is the direction that you've all heard these like faint battle sounds and what sounds like water falling.
Okay.
Can you both make me stealth checks?
Yes.
Sure can.
Trying to remember the bit of my archetype that lets me be invisible in darkness. Well, I'm not able to find it at this moment.
I think it's if you're in darkness and you're not moving, you're technically invisible.
I don't think motion comes into it. I think the ability as we've been using it is if I'm in darkness, I'm invisible.
Yeah, okay. I think it's under the umbral sight part of the Gloomstalker. I think you're invisible in darkness to anything that relies on dark vision.
Yes.
So if you walk into a torchlight, you're fucked. But otherwise,
correct. Okay. So
yeah, I rolled very poorly, and that is a 16.
I'm
okay.
Glad I'm on the other side of the tunnel. I rolled a 22.
All right. You are creeping forward, and as you do, you see that up ahead begins to form this pool of water that starts out very shallow, and it starts to extend outwards and appears to be a little bit deeper. How far is your dark vision, the both of you? Just 60 feet?
Mine is 120.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine's the standard 60.
So I'm just gonna open this wide up then for your sake, Brendan, and for everybody's, because eventually as you're moving forward you can see these things. You see this pool of water starts to get deeper until you see what looks like an actual small waterfall descending from about 25 feet up. And on either side of this waterfall, so on our map here to the north and to the south, you see that there are stairs carved into the bedrock that go up and alongside this waterfall. And then sitting in this water, like this pool, appears to be a deep gnome figure. And it doesn't seem to have noticed you. What do you guys do?
Hester's gonna sneak up, hugging the southern wall of this tunnel. Try to still avoid drawing the attention and get a closer look at what might be at the top of this waterfall. Like, is it path just going forward, or is there something atop this?
You can see as you got a little bit closer that it seems like there is some kind of other cavern that extends farther back, but as like it's 25 feet up from your vantage point, you can't see too far in, but it definitely seems to expand farther back into that area.
All right.
Can both of you make perception checks?
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
that is a whole 8.
Great.
21 over here.
Oh,
21.
I'm sorry. I was thinking of my terrible intelligence. It is a 14.
Hester, as you're moving forward and you're trying to identify what's farther up, and this figure's kind of like moving about in the water, Artemis, you proceed forward and you notice two things. First, this figure in the water appears to be transparent. The second thing you notice is a little bit behind you, but not too far, is a smaller figure kind of tracing in your footsteps. What do you guys want to do?
Does the figure that is trailing us appear to be gnomish in nature, or is that too hard to discern?
With your perception check, they do appear to be a deep gnome. You think that they might be female, and they have a like small hammer and a shield and some kind of like horrible rusted looking like armor on, and they're trying their very best to like hold their arms close to their sides so the chainmail like doesn't make any noise. And they're you can see them like trying to step around some rocks, and then they notice they don't see you staring at them, but they see that you have moved, and you see them like look across the way and you can see Hester moving, and they just stop and lock up for a moment. They appear to be young.
Okay. I'm gonna I nod in the general direction of where I think Hester might be, but they're stealthy and they're invisible, so I don't really know. And I'm gonna
that's right. Hester's invisible, so nobody can see.
I'm gonna step up to the edge of the water here. I'm gonna take my hood off, and I'm gonna call out, Udhask. Are you the one known as Udhask?
You see this figure in the water like shoot up into a standing position, turn around, and just start screaming, "They are coming! Everyone must flee!" And then this ghost just starts tearing up over this waterfall and disappears into the cavern beyond. And you can just hear it wailing, "They are coming! Hide yourselves!"
Did we hear any more of the like clattering battle sounds after we came in here, or have those stopped?
It's weird. You don't hear them anymore.
I'll remark to the chamber at large. I believe our friend is trapped in a rather unpleasant loop. Hopefully we can find a way to disabuse him of that notion, but before we do, and I'm gonna turn around, pull the broken Gauss pistol, and point it at our little friend.
This figure is still like crunched over, and it's very clearly to you like they're just trying to pretend they haven't been spotted.
No, right. I can see you. We can all see. What are you doing here?
And they very hesitantly like start to get up and then kind of like brush a little bit of dirt off if they could, even though their armor is very rusty. They're like, I'm here to prove myself.
Prove yourself to whom?
The others. I'm Eva Clay, and I want to be a borough warden.
I see. We have a squire here.
I could be more than a squire. I'm the only one willing to who dares try to prove themselves. To the others, they're just playing pretend. I'm here to put what Jagger taught us to use, so I can help everybody.
I'm gonna step a little closer to our friend, not in like an unfriendly way, but just like stepping back the way, and I want to size them up a little bit. Or do they seem one? How old are they ish? And two, do they seem capable?
Roll an insight check. While I kind of describe them. So they are surprisingly a little bit tall for a deep gnome. They are about 3'6", and they have kind of that characteristic whitish gray hair. It's kind of tied back tight into a bun with some strands that are a little bit loose. They've got that bad chainmail armor on. They've got a very heavily dented shield. What looks like it could be a blacksmith's hammer, but it's got some weight to it. And then one of the things that kind of strikes you the most is that there appears to be some odd writings on both the shield and the hammer that I don't believe that you recognize what they are. They seem like decently strong underneath the ill-fitting stuff. She, like, as you approach, she kind of like adjusts herself, so she's definitely had some like training, some muscle memory kicking in there to kind of protect herself, but it's hard to say if they're a truly capable individual. She said she's there to try to prove herself, but she sees you're kind of eyeing her up and down, and she kind of like stands a little bit straighter and kind of stares back at you.
Okay, I rolled an 11 on the insight check.
Yeah, you pick up all of that, and you think she's more nervous about what you're gonna do than scared about anything that's here.
Well, and Artemis is gonna like kind of lower himself down to her level, and yell, "Scylla, if you'd like to approach."
I think Scylla is standing with this far off stare, and when she hears that, she kind of like jolts, like realizes where she is, and she looks at Caliburn in her hands and slowly sheathes it before walking forward.
Cool. And then I'll kneel down towards our little friend Eva. Eva, what we're going to face down here will be dangerous, and I cannot guarantee your safety. I have fought alongside many fine warriors who are now dead. I cannot guarantee your safety.
I understand the risks, and I wouldn't be here if I wasn't truly okay and comfortable with that fact. It's a sacrifice demanded by all the wardens. And if I'm to have a legendary armor set like they did, I must prove myself. I must find a foe that I can then channel strike fear into those that would harm us. And if I can't face what's here in our own city, then why bother trying to defend against anything?
Well spoken, Squire.
So you're not going to send me back?
No, I will not. My companions may have their own ideas. I do not speak unilaterally, but we all must have a first hunt.
They nod a bit and thank you. And they see and hear Scylla approach, and they kind of nod at you, Scylla, kind of questioningly.
You will join us. Is that what you wish? I'm hearing.
I do. Well, that was part of here, other than come here to prove myself. You all seem clearly the most capable out of anybody in the city, and there's only so much you can learn from a ghost. So...
It is yet to be seen from Hester, but I can attest to Artemis.
You just hear from like 2 feet away. Watch your tone. The kid's got spunk. I might start liking her better than you.
I do not believe that is something to be concerned about. You seem lovely, but you are a liability in battle.
Are you talking about me or the kid?
Oh, I can see how that is confusing. I was speaking with the child.
She's like, I'll hold my own. Don't worry about me. I understand.
You must understand. I will not protect you over the others.
And I won't ask it of you.
It is your choice.
Indeed. All must have their first hunt. Not all earn their first kill.
They kind of nod, and you can see there's like a deep swallow, but they try to look pretty resolute.
Y'all are fucking dark. Can we go now?
Coming from the darkest one in the group. Damn.
What do you say, invisible
I
rat?
don't sit next to children telling them how they're about to die.
You will be murdered here.
Yeah.
Informed
what,
consent is very important.
Guess what, kids? The world wants you dead. I won't stop it from happening.
I mean, look. You know?
I'd rather they learn from me.
Take the words now, or a monster will teach them to you.
If they're going to suffer at the hands of demons, I'd rather they do it with me, where it's safe and they can learn.
Gonna learn today. Shanks 'em.
We should know ahead of time. Are you planning on getting up close, or are you fighting from afar?
They like fan out their arms. You see they got the shield, they got the hammer, they've got like a little hand axe. She's like, I don't have everything the Burrow Wardens had, but they fought up close, and so will I.
I don't mean to be offensive. Sorry, you can't see me. I'm Hester. That hammer, does that actually hurt things, or did you steal that from a stall on the way out?
And they look kind of guilty, and they're like, well, I did take it from a stall.
Oh, for God's sakes! And I will.
But it'll be fine. Don't
just like she'll feel the haft of a sword just like pressed up against the armor, like right at her solar plexus. Take it, and I'll give her one of my short swords.
She takes it and she buckles it on, but she still holds the hammer in one hand.
Fine.
She's like, it'll be fine. You'll see.
Can I read what's on it? The hammer?
What languages do you speak?
Dwarvish, Primordial, and Undercommon.
It is not those three.
Yeah.
Anybody else can.
What about Abyssal, Elvish, or Minotaur?
Not those.
He took Minotaur?
I mean, honestly, it's pretty fitting.
Call it gallows humor.
Fair. I got Draconic and Leonin.
It is neither of those. It looks like a very, very old kind of rune, essentially, on both the shield and the hammer.
Okay, cool.
So this is some kind of ancient writing for sure.
Very well. Let us continue our exploration. Shall we continue up the waterfall, friends, or try the other passageway?
That is the way the specter ran.
Oh yes, by the way, Scylla, the battle noises are from the PTSD of a ghost who was caught in the moment of their demise. So, I mean, still dangerous, but not like imminently dangerous.
That is confusing.
I would say arguably more dangerous.
Fair.
If we are to enter into water, I would like to use my new wand.
Okay.
What?
Is that a euphemism, or are you going to show us something?
Oh, euphemisms are lies. This wand. Should I? I think she just like rummages around in her pack, and then she like brings out this what looks like a pretty simple looking stick.
Hester needs to spend some time processing that statement.
I just love with how friggin' quick Sam was on that response.
Wow.
And the conviction in which it was said. That was great.
It's true. Okay, so she's gonna use the wand to cast water breathing on everyone.
Before you do that, this
Okay.
is me as your friend in DM telling you right now.
Yeah.
You look at this pool of water. It's about 100 feet wide. It's not correct on this map that I'm showing you right now. It's at most 30 feet deep.
Okay.
So like you could probably just explore it and everybody can look down into it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna tell you, don't bother using the wand. You Scylla would know, like looking at it like nah. Okay,
cool. Then I think I would just wade in and take a look in it. Because I don't know, there are stairs, but I'm curious to know if there's anything else in the water.
Yeah, is there anything chilling at the bottom?
Yes.
You kind of like wade in and then eventually disappear under the water, and you see that it appears that this pool has been purely made through like erosion. And because of like the waterfall coming in and the movements of it, you see bits of minerals like kind of appearing, some like ores as well, kind of lining in the bedrock, but there is nothing down here except for a handful of very old looking skeletons, like small skeletons kind of scattered about in this space.
Like deep gnome sized?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I do a quick medicine check on these skeletons to see if I can tell how they died?
Yeah, absolutely.
Drowning.
I got a nat 1 on that.
Okay, what's your total?
3.
3? They are clearly extremely old, and I imagine like you go up and you try to like pick one to examine it, and it just kind of starts to crumble into shards in your hand. So they're extremely old. You knowing, like, figuring that and kind of like finding that, you would think these are bones of those that perished during the attack of this city.
All right, Scylla will return and walk out of the water. There's not much down there except for some, perished citizens, perhaps from the attack on the city. They're quite old. That being said, I think we are safe to head on up if that is the direction we are going.
I believe. Are there any other exits or entrances to this cavern, Will?
You don't know. You know that there's a larger path that kind of goes to the north. However, you came to the south because of the noises, and you see as you're getting this close to it that there is a path to the north that splits off. You see that over to the southwest is another kind of little tunnel, and I will say, like, if you guys take a little moment to peer through, it just leads back to another sealed door that goes back to the smithies. You would presume so. You've got the northwest, the northeast, or up the 2 staircases into the cavern beyond.
Let's follow that specter. See what's
Alright.
up.
Follow that ghost. So up the stairs.
Okay. Yeah, please move your tokens along. You guys crest these stairs, and you see that there's a like shallow, swiftly flowing stream that bisects this cave. Crystalline formations start like popping up from the floor on both sides of the stream, and there is a couple rough-hewn staircases at the back of the cave that climb up 30 feet to a barren stone ledge, where you see that there are 2 winged statues perched on top that look down, and this river comes from a opening in this kind of wall that forms the base of this kind of overlook, and you see the ghost ever so briefly like disappear into that smaller opening with the river beyond. And I'm going to reveal more of this area for you.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
It's so cute.
Stunning.
So yeah, the ghost disappears in through this cave opening to where like the river kind of flows in.
Is this a shallow river?
It's very shallow, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you would step in it. It's like if you've ever, it's like it's just spurting up immediately over your feet. But it's formed a small depression. At its deepest, it's probably like a foot.
And how high is this little cave that the river disappears into? Is it a tight squeeze? Is it pretty open?
So it's decently open. It's about 15 feet wide, about 10 and a half feet tall. The ledge, though, is about 30 feet, and where you see those 2 like winged statues kind of standing.
Okay. Do I know what kind of creature the statues are?
Go ahead and make a just make a nature or history check, I would say.
Okay.
Let me look back over our... Yeah, I'm gonna go with nature or history, I would say.
Okay. Not fantastic. 8.
Okay. You're not exactly sure what they're meant to represent, but they look monstrous-esque. They've got some horns. They've got 2 kind of burly-ish looking arms, and they're sitting in kind of like a squat-like position. One has kind of like these curly horns. One's got more of a straight kind of devil, we would kind of think. And as you guys approach, you hear what sounds like stones starting to kind of shatter and break. And you see those 2 statues begin moving.
Fucking...
And then, that's not all, folks.
Oh, no.
You see...
It can be. We'll forgive you.
Yeah. You see from behind you all, emerging from the river, water just blowing off, this large elemental appear.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
And we'll roll for initiative next time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
So because this is a video episode, I want to do a quick outro as well. Thanks everyone for watching and for listening. We're going to record the next episode right now, but you'll see the next episode next week. So thanks everybody, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes.
Bye.